all right? Not his friend, his toga or whatever that is, all right? You would look for someone that believed in karma, someone that believed in nirvana, someone that believed in meditation and reincarnation. And when you found that person, you would call him a Buddhist. However, we are told that you can be a Christian without holding to the doctrines of Christian. You can be a Christian without holding to creation. You can be a Christian without holding to grace alone for salvation, without believing in the virgin birth, without believing in the deity of Christ, without the literal blood. You can be a Christian without resurrection, believing in the resurrection. You can be a Christian without believing in the imminent return or the final judgment or even a literal heaven or hell. You can be a Christian and not believe in the sanctity of marriage, even the sanctity of deaths of babies. You can be a Christian and believe in homosexuality or anything else. Listen, when you want to look for a Buddhist, you look for a fellow who believes Buddhist doctrine. When you want to see a true believer, a disciple of Jesus Christ, you look for someone that believes Jesus' doctrine. You can't be a Christian without holding to Christ's doctrine. When you're looking for a church, look for a church that makes much of doctrine. Hold to a church that believes fundamental doctrine. Christ intended for doctrine. He intended his churches to preach doctrine. Turn over to John chapter 14, please. John chapter 14. How many of you are warm in here? Are you warm or is it just me? I got all the lights on me. You guys are fine. That's good. John 14. John chapter 14, look at verse number 15. In John 14, beginning verse number 15, it says, if you love me, keep my what? No, you got that wrong. It says, if you love me, wear my label. It says, if you love me, say that you love Jesus. What is the distinction of someone who really loves Jesus? They keep his commandments. They do what he says. They believe and follow what he says, his doctrine. Look at verse 16. And I will pray the Father, and he will give you another comforter. Give me another name for comforter. Holy Spirit, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you, and he shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Yet a little while, the world seeth me no more, but ye see me, because I live, ye shall live also. At that day ye shall know that I am in the Father, and ye in me, and I in you. How shall you know this? Verse 21, look at this. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. Look here. If you get rid of all of Jesus' commandments and his teachings and get rid of all the doctrine, the word doctrine means teachings. You get rid of all those things. Do you love Jesus, yes or no? No. You don't. How would it be characterized that a man would love Jesus? After Jesus was gone and the Holy Spirit was come within believers, how could you distinguish them? How? Those that followed his doctrine, that kept his commandments, that kept his teaching. Not those that said, I'm a follower of Jesus. See, we have Christianity today in many, many churches that just want to throw that away. And they want to get an all warm and fuzzy, loving Jesus kind of mentality. But they want to throw away the New Testament. And they want to throw away the epistles. They are Jesus' epistles. Listen, Jesus' words do not stop after Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Do you know that Acts and Romans, clear revelation, are Jesus' words? They could all be in red. They are divine, inspired words given by the Lord. When you're looking for a church, look for a church that preaches doctrine, You say, Pastor, doctrine is a little bit boring. I like life application. I'm going to raise my hand. How many of you like life application? You like life application. You like when preaching, you like something you can take home, okay? I want to tell you something in closing here tonight. If life application is not based on doctrine, it is worthless and fluff and usually philosophy or psychology. Let me tell you right. How many of you I like sermons on prayer. I like to be challenged to prayer. How many of you would like to know that God hears your prayer? You'd like to hear a message about God hearing your prayer. I would too. Do you know what that's based on? That you're covered by the blood of Christ and you have access to the throne of God. That is doctrine. The application of being able to pray when you go home tonight or tomorrow morning and know that God hears you is based on the doctrine that you are saved and you're accepted into the beloved. Okay, life application has to be based on doctrine. You throw away the doctrine, you start saying things that don't make sense. You start making promises in the pulpit that don't make you have any connection to doctrine. Turn quickly, and we're done, to 2 Timothy, and then we're going to take some prayer requests tonight and be done. Turn to 2 Timothy. I want to show you that you must find a good church. You must be in a good church that makes a lot of doctrine, that the preachers know what they believe, that they're teaching doctrine regularly. All right, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2 through 5. And here's the promise. Preach the word. This is to Timothy, who is in the local church setting. He is commanded to preach the word. Be instant. That means be ready to do it in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long-suffering, and what's the word? What? Oh, folks, you old fuddy-duddies, it's deeds, not creeds. Doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound. What? Well, it's already here, folks. The time will come. It's already here. But after their own lust, they shall heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. And that's why they'll call the teachers. It's not the teachers that have the itching ears, by the way. And they shall turn away their ears from the what? Truth. That is doctrine. And shall be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things. Watch out for these liars. Watch out for these folks that don't like doctrine. Watch out for these preachers that preach fables. Watch thou in all things. Young Timothy the preacher, endure afflictions. Do the work of evangelists. Make full proof of thy ministry. Folks, stand up. You know what full proof of any pastor, stand up, any pastor's ministry, full proof of, he must preach doctrine. Love doctrine. Find a church that preaches doctrine. You say, Pastor, I'm not sure what the fundamental doctrines of the faith are. I want to point you to something. In 2006 and 2007, we preached a whole series called Are You a Fundamentalist? 29 messages on fundamental doctrine. I don't pipe myself. You can find it, though, on the website. If you would like some doctrinal preaching, straight doctrine of the Scriptures, the fundamentals of the faith, go to there. It's in the archives under the sermons. Let's have a word of prayer.